Okay. I guess I'll just start reading off of.
Sure.
Yeah. So, what is your current job title?
My current job title is Director of HR Policy and Employee Relations. I do have a business card, so I can provide that for you.
Wonderful. Director. Is that not the highest? I'm not sure. Is it not the highest position?
No, you have a Vice President of Organizational Development and Human Resources. That's Dr. Amy Bosley.
So Vice President is director similar to I think manager or
So organizations have different levels.
Yeah, I bet.
A prior organization where I worked at.
Yeah.
They had different levels. So anyone that was over a particular department and they were responsible for, they were called the manager.
Okay.
And in human resources, something equivalent could be an administrator or a director level or what have you. So something that's comparable.
Okay, cool. Because I know when I looked into HR, I saw director as always kind of like, I don't know, maybe the highest one. I've seen that one.
They're responsible for that particular area.
Okay.
And then for Valencia, a manager may report to a director level position.
Okay, cool. And then how long have you been
I've been
working
here at Valencia?
Or I guess in the field.
Oh, in the field. Wow. Human resources entails a lot of different areas. So I would say overall it was since when I started in the training and development section was back in 1996. So figure that one out. So almost 20 years, so about 19, 20 years.
Yeah, I was born in 97. Wow, I like that. Okay. I know you start obviously from the not bottom necessarily, but then you work your way up. Did it take long for you to get where you are now?
For me, I went what I would say a non-traditional route. My career did not start in human resources.
Okay.
I actually started off as a correctional officer. I worked in a jail.
Okay.
And part of that also entailed training staff. So that's how I got into the training, to the HR field. The training section at one point was part of human resources. So the first area in human resources was training and staff development. And with that, because of my experience and the background, I transitioned into the recruitment area.
Okay.
And as a recruiter, I became a coordinator. So it wasn't a support person. So I think because mine was non-traditional and because of the level that I was at, I believe that I had a little bit more experience to start at other than an entry-level position. So I was given that opportunity and then transitioned to employee relations. So if you notice, there were other areas within HR, and I became more of a generalist in gaining that experience. And then from that, opened up doors and opportunities to a supervisor level and then increased from there.
Supervisor. Okay. Did you, what was I going to ask? When you said when you worked as a correctional officer and that dealt with training, does HR do any of the slightest of training?
What happened is, in that particular role, there were mandatory trainings that needed to occur for the certified officers, and there were also support staff, and what I call support meaning more civilian, meaning they weren't certified. They may have provided, they were in a non-certified capacity, were regular clothes like you and I, and there was also required training for them as well. So my role was to train all the employees in that particular department. There were about 1,700 employees for only that particular department alone. So yes, it was because we fell under human resources area. Yes, we had to train the departments, but my main role really was just training and staff development. I did not get involved in the recruitment side or anything like that. Just particularly that until I transitioned to a new position, and then I strictly just did the recruitment, which equivalent to that for Valencia would be employment and onboarding. So as time passes, names change.
Yes.
But it still is pretty much the same purpose or the same area or discipline per se that you have to be responsible for.
Okay.
Does that help answer your question?
Yeah. So I'm. Correct me if I'm wrong. So different jobs may. I know you explained that they have different titles. But overall, I know you said you didn't do like much of the recruitment. It was more of the training, and then you moved towards the recruitment. I'm trying to see where I'm trying to get at.
I think I can explain. I think I understand where you're going. Different organizations have positions in human resources. They may have a position that is just specialized, and all I need for you to do your function is just recruitment or just training. There are some positions in organizations that are more, when I mention generalist. Let's just say they have 3 people working in human resources. And out of the 3, you may have a director level, let's just say, or the head of HR, and then you have 2 individuals. And both of those individuals may be at the same level, but they're responsible not only for training, recruitment, they may be employee relations, they may be all areas of HR. So they wear many hats. So depending on the organization, you may be hired to perform only one specialized area in HR, or you may be hired to be very knowledgeable in multiple areas. Is that I think that may be the direction
I got the
that
idea.
heading.
Yes, thank you for breaking it down.
Sure.
Okay, because I know I've only seen my HR during employment, and that if any problems did happen, I would probably see her again. Okay, you only see your HR. Does that also go with if you have like some sort of complaint with like a manager or something? Is HR kind of like that go-to person you want to speak to?
I can speak for the college. That's actually our area of responsibility. We encourage employees to have one-on-one conversations anytime, let's say, they have differences of opinion or what have you. At the college, we value diversity, we value inclusion, we value differences of opinion. That's how we get innovative, and we throw things at the table, especially to help us understand in what direction we want to head. So again, we're human. We're not all taught to act the same way per se or have the same opinions about things. So that's where the ideas come to the table. And when ideas come to the table, that's when sometimes we're very passionate and feel very strongly. So when that happens, you and I may have differences as colleagues, may have differences of opinion. Or let's say you're my supervisor, I may still have differences of opinion. Or let's just say I'm not really liking the way that you're coming across to me. Or I think it's it's a little mean or potentially condescending or what have you, and maybe I don't understand all the pieces. Or maybe that's your leadership style or what have you. So who can I speak to? HR is a resource for you. So that's the way we consider it. HR is a resource to help you how to have that conversation. So we either give you tools on how to have the conversation. We can help be with you in a meeting in having that conversation, let's say with that colleague or supervisor. Or let's just you and I as colleagues, we're having differences of opinion, I need help. I could go to my supervisor and say, can you help me? We're just difference of opinion, can you help us? And if not, I can actually go to human resources and say, help us. Because human resources is that neutral agent. We're not here to take sides. We're not
definitely.
Here, we're not here to say one is right versus the other. We try to facilitate the conversation to say, okay, do we need a resolution or do we need to help clarify what is being brought to the table, the ideas, the opinions, to ensure that, as you know, when you sometimes have a conversation, we hear what each other is saying, but we're not listening to what each other is saying because we're focused on, I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's what the facilitative conversation comes in. We try to help bring that to the table and clarify the perspective of each of the parties to at least either reach a resolution or at least understand where each party's coming from. And if we need to agree to disagree, that's great. But also we want to make sure that we have a positive, productive working relationship from that point forward. Okay?
Yeah, I think that's something that's valued in a lot of jobs, just so we just all kind of get along.
Right.
And as humans, I agree, it can be hard, and we can not necessarily be hard-headed, but I guess what I've learned in my SLS class is critical thinking. It's something we all need to practice on. That's cool. Well, this is what I want to hear. What do you like most about your job? What do you enjoy?
what I enjoy is helping people.
Helping, oh, that's so great. I do too.
I love, I don't know, I guess I'm passionate about it, differences of opinion, because I want people to feel that they are heard, and also doing it in a way that's professional and respectful, because sometimes we're all human. Sometimes we lack that emotional intelligence, and our emotions kick in because we're so passionate.
Yes.
And sometimes it comes across not in a good professional way. So that's the only thing. I love helping people that if they don't recognize that, to say, you know, let me share with you what I just heard. And sometimes when people see that, it's like, oh, I didn't realize that. So in trying to help them, and even with people, I try to be as candid with them as possible, and try to be just be real. You know, be myself, be very sincere, and also let them know that even though you have a concern, or this is the direction that you want to take with it, you may not like what it is that I'm telling you, in regards to this is a policy that's in place, this is a procedure that's in place, or these are the things that you can do, but none of them fit what it is that you want to be the outcome. But also understanding and respect that, and understand that if you happen to come to me every time, I'm going to be very honest with you, direct, and let you know what you can and what's not feasible, what you can't do. In regards to policies, or what the parameters and practices and procedures are. So I love that aspect. I love the people aspect of my job.
As part of HR, is there such thing as a position where you pick out, what's the word I'm looking for? Not much of rules, but like insurances to pick out.
We do have an area also. Our area in Valencia is called Total Rewards. They have an area that deals strictly with the benefits piece, compensation. Yes. Lights just went off in here. So we also have compensation, benefits. We do have workforce planning, because we also have to think about what is needed for the college, because the reason why we're here at Valencia is we're all for the students. We're here for the students. Regardless whether or not my role touches directly with a student, what I do is going to help influence that employee to provide a great service to the student. Not that they're not doing, I mean, I think I will have to speak, I will have to say, my experience here, everyone is so passionate about student learning, and they want to make sure that students have a great outcome and be successful and get their degrees. It's really, it's like a breath of fresh air to me, you know, which is fantastic. So there is an area on benefits, and I think that's the other part that I want to share with you. In human resources, you have a transactional side and a transformational side. Transaction would be like benefits. How do we pick out insurance? How do we pay someone? Because we also have payroll. Payroll is part of human resources here as well. How do we make sure that every 2 weeks everyone's paid for? That's the responsibility of that payroll director. That's what she eats, sleeps, and breathes that. Any issues, corrections, and anything. So with benefits, the same thing. Your question was specific, let's say, to benefits. It's not that we just pick whatever random you know, benefits are out there. We do put bids out. We set parameters as to what we're looking for in the insurance, and also look at competitiveness out of the market. So we do have also a committee that takes a look at the bids and rates them to determine what's going to work best, and cost is included in that as well. So you try to be as fair as possible, and also keep it in mind what's best for the organization, the institution, with the employees that we have. Because we do have full-time and part-time employees. Does that help answer your question?
Yeah. Are most of them full-time, or is it more of just like a part-time kind of job?
We have, it's not quite, we have, I believe, about half and half.
Half and half.
Full-time, and some are part-time. So you're going to see a lot of the part-time positions, more of adjuncts that are just there. They come in and they teach courses. We have full-time, of course, we have full-time professors. We also have full-time employees. My position is a full-time position. So with full-time, there's benefits.